Soll ich?
Ja.
So, ich hoffe, das klappt. Das heißt, ein Schwarzbild zu sehen und, es ein bisschen, und jetzt sehe ich auch ein Bild. Aber auf YouTube sehe ich leider immer noch unsere Warteschleife. Jetzt weiß ich, haben wir extrem Lag, oder?
Ja, YouTube braucht ein paar Sekunden länger, aber eigentlich braucht es jetzt schon bedenklich lange.
Das ist sehr lange.
Ja, hallo übrigens.
YouTube wird uns dann sehen, wenn wir schon wieder gehen. Nee, aber ich mache mir langsam Sorgen. Ich guck mal, vielleicht ist es, weil ich beides gleichzeitig habe. Nee, jetzt läuft einfach nur extrem leck. Okay, wir begrüßen alle unsere Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer auf Twitch und auch ein bisschen später auf YouTube. Also wenn ihr das seht auf YouTube, dann sind wir schon da gewesen.
Nein, YouTube ist nur ein paar Sekunden später.
Ja.
Genau, wir sind auf der UK Games Expo. Also ich kann ja mal gerade ein kleines Demo machen, wie es hier ausschaut. Wir sind bei der Show Preview, also so eine Art Neuheitenshow. Was leider nicht mehr geklappt hat, war die Preisverleihung. Da hätte auch Steve Jackson die moderiert, das war ein bisschen schade. Aber wir können uns rausreden. Ja. Leider sind unsere britischen SIM-Karten nicht alle freigeschaltet worden. Deswegen gibt es heute auch leider keine Sprachdurchsagen, weil wir bräuchten eine SIM-Karte extra und die nehmen wir lieber dafür, dass hier die Videoqualität auch stimmt, damit wir zumindest 7 SIM-Karten haben. Und ja, Grüße an Vodafone UK. Ich habe euch 20 Pfund aufgeladen und eure SIM-Karte funktioniert immer noch nicht. So.
Das ist wirklich ein bisschen frustrierend. So, genau, es wird gerade noch ein bisschen aufgebaut. Ich gehe ein bisschen davon aus, dass hier auch in der Nähe, also wir sind jetzt in Halle 3, dass da auch wahrscheinlich auch die Game Night und die freien Spielbereiche stattfinden. Und wo wir jetzt gerade sind, sind auch so ein paar Tische, bei denen vermutlich Prototypen vorgestellt werden. Genau, aber jetzt konnten wir uns dann noch ein bisschen ausbreiten. Genau, vielleicht noch so ein paar Facts zur UK Games Expo. Hier gibt es nicht nur Game Night und Stände, Verlage, die sich präsentieren, sondern es gibt zum Beispiel, was ich super lustig finde, ein Speed-Dating für Leute, die Spiele herausbringen wollen und Verlagen. Es ist wirklich so Speed-Dating 5 Minuten, es gibt Workshops, also alles Mögliche. Genau, heute schauen wir uns jetzt erstmal so die Neuheitenshow an. Morgen beginnt so eigentlich richtig die Messe. Und für diejenigen, die dann ein bisschen mehr Zeit haben morgen, wir leider nicht, die können noch auf die Game Night gehen, die geht sogar bis 12 Uhr. Also schon. Genau, bei uns ist es jetzt eine Stunde früher noch als bei euch.
Genau. Ja, funktioniert der Ton? Der
Ton funktioniert. Ich muss ihn zwischendurch leise machen, weil ich kann leider nicht eines irgendwie ausmachen.
Ja gut, solange du jetzt einmal gecheckt hast, weil dann könnten wir direkt starten. Die Leute wollen ja Spiele sehen.
Auf jeden Fall, dann geht's jetzt los.
Okay. So, ich folge dir unauffällig.
Achso, ja, ich muss jetzt, vielleicht hätte ich ja doch lieber die Kamera
direkt auf dich abgeschoben.
Okay, ich habe schon gesehen, es gibt so ein paar interessante Sachen. Ich würde sagen, wir laufen einfach mal so ein bisschen durch. Ein paar Sachen kennt man schon und die Sachen, die den Chat besonders interessieren oder bei denen wir sagen, ui, das kennen wir noch gar nicht, da bleiben wir mal stehen. Genau. Ich würde gerne mal hier direkt zu Rove gehen. Als ich gesehen habe, dass ein Spiel namens Rove da ist, dachte ich, ich kenne das ja schon, aber das ist ein anderes Spiel anscheinend. Mit Storybuch. Ich glaube, da gucke ich gleich mal, ob ich da ein Interview hinkriege. So. Okay. Ich gucke immer zwischendurch, nicht wundern, gleichzeitig auf den Chat von YouTube und Twitch, weil wir können das nicht gucken.
Ja, also hier sollen heute 200 Creator aus der ganzen Welt sein, deswegen kann es sein, dass wir manchmal ein bisschen warten müssen.
Aber es sieht auch alles, also ich glaube, egal wo wir jetzt angefangen hätten, müssten wir kurz warten. Sollen wir gleich, dass ich mein Mikro hin und her gebe oder deins nehmen?
Wir können meins nehmen, ist vielleicht besser, weil sonst nimmt meins einfach nur Störgeräusche auf. Eben. Ich gebe dir mal meins und halte dann die Klappe.
Wäre das jetzt sehr frech, wenn ich es jetzt schon unten drunter halten würde, könnte schon was wieder. Musst du einfach mal bringen, oder?
No, you could switch characters if you wanted, but yeah, it's not designed to rate all the joints quick, except for like traps and stuff. Of course, yeah, but everything else is all printed in the manual or in the book, so it's super fast. What do you mean?
Aber ich sehe, der Chat beschäftigt sich, der rät nämlich immer noch an welches Spiel Geekpunkt denkt. Während wir warten, kann ich das ein bisschen mitraten. Ich würde sagen, Next Station London.
Am besten hebst du dir das Mikro vielleicht ein wenig näher an den Mund, so laut es hier ist.
Achso, ich habe meins ja hier, das er reizt. Aber ich weiß nicht, ob man es hört. Gib gerne mal zwischendurch ein bisschen Feedback. Aber dich hört man jetzt nicht.
Ja, wenn es hier länger dauert, sollte man vielleicht zu einem anderen Spiel gehen.
Ja,
weil sonst
es
haben
ist
wir
halt
echt viel Video.
ja, aber guck dich mal um, es ist überall sind gerade irgendwie.
Yeah, if you wanted to try and set something up, we might be able to work on it, let you squeeze in a copy or something to try stuff out. Right, yeah. I'll think I'll set up time.
Ja, Basti hat geschrieben, Red Race ist frei, dann gehen wir mal dahin. So. Hello. We are live on Twitch and YouTube right now. Is it okay to answer some questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. That's our. I saw the name of your game and I remember maybe there was a movie a few years ago with the same name. Has it anything to do with that, or is it some?
Nothing to do with the movie. It's just a common saying, particularly in England. Escape the rat race is a common saying for people who are trying not to work anymore, basically, and leave your career and go on holiday. So the game's all around trying to collect. If you see the cards, the game's all around collecting experiences throughout the working decades of your life and being the first player to collect as many experiences as possible. And once you've done that, you then escape the rat race and you retire and you sail off into the sunset and have a nice holiday.
I like the illustrations. So they are. Hast du das gefilmt? They're really cute.
Yeah, thank you. We have a really talented artist based out of Denmark, actually, and so we commissioned all the design and really we built the game around the artwork. So we thought about the artwork first and what we wanted people to be interested in, and then around that we kind of built the concept of the game, which is, it's a super quick play, 20-minute, fast and furious game, basically.
Ah, okay.
Just like life.
Okay. What's the difference between these two boxes?
So we're currently live on Kickstarter. So we're about 1 week into the project. We funded on day one. So the red box is essentially a Kickstarter exclusive, special edition. So you'll see on it, it's a signed version by the artist and ourselves who created the game. The black box is the standard edition, which will ultimately become the retail edition. So yeah, if you want the red box, you kind of have to do it now on Kickstarter.
Ah, good to know. Let me look in the chat. Ah, okay. Somebody says she liked the artwork. Okay, gut. Ja, Chat, habt ihr noch irgendwelche Fragen? Klingt ja nach einem lustigen Spiel, Red Race. It sounds like a funny game, Red Race, I think.
Thank you. We'll be around all weekend if you want to come test it out. We're in Hall 1, stand 1007. Come have a little play and we'll give you a game. There's also some little merchandise we've got with the rat logos on, which people quite seem to like.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
And Twitch, is it okay?
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I give you the micro.
Enjoy
Thank you.
these for you guys as well. Yeah, so this is Rove. It's a cooperative campaign game. It's a dungeon crawler without a dungeon, in a way. Everything is quick and easy setup. That's one of the major things we wanted to focus on, was being able to set up the game in about 5 minutes. So it's got a map book here, you have a monster manual, and then you have your quest book. Everything can be set up very, very quickly, because you'll figure out which quest you need to go to. You'll go in here to the box, grab a box that has everything you need inside of it for that one particular quest. It's all down on the table, 5 to 10 minutes, and you're ready to go and play the game. Playtime takes about 20 to 25 minutes per player, maybe 30 minutes a player at the absolute most. And you're going to be taking your character through the world of Chorus. here on the sides, you're going to be doing 2 actions off of your player board. When you take an action, you just slide it up, so it's nice and easy to do, and you'll be able to do one of those card actions across the bottom. If you want, when you do your action, you're going to flip that card over, so you can grab one of those cards and flip it over if you want. You'll see that there's new actions available on the other side. So that card flipping mechanic makes the game very different and unique.
Okay, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
So I see it's a Kickstarter.
Yes.
When will the game be ready?
So it's currently on Kickstarter right now, and we're fully funded, over 2,000 backers. We're going to be printing and delivering in May of next year.
Okay. And do you know if there's any retail available?
So we won't be going to retail. This is a fully Kickstarter thing. Any options to purchase will be either at shows where we're there or directly from our website. So Kickstarter is the best way to buy it. The core box right now is at $99, and at retail it's going to be about $160.
Okay. Maybe for our audience in Germany, will you be in Essen this year?
So we hope to be in Essen, but it may not be. But we still will have late pledges open. We definitely should be in Essen the following year for sure with stock.
Okay, all right.
How big is the luck element? Is it more strategy or more luck?
There is a little luck because there is dice rolling, but it is not specific for. There are ways to mitigate the luck. So there is some luck, but not.
So it's push your luck a bit.
A bit, sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's tested quite well. The full campaign goes all the way for about 45 to 50 hours, depending upon how you play. And there are times where you'll make choices. Do you go left or do you go right? And whichever choice you make is great, but whichever choice you decide not to do will get worse, and then you'll come back to it later, and you have to do a different version of that scenario because you chose not to deal with it. So it's a very different system.
Okay. How old do players have to be to play this game?
So my child, who plays a lot of board games, at 12 years old can definitely play. We say 14 and up, but there's no nudity or sexual sides or anything like that. Everything is very simple and very clean as far as that goes. So there are no horror themes or anything. So that's the other part.
Okay. Oh, there are no questions in the chat right now.
Whatever your party chooses is not the wrong answer.
We're live on YouTube and on Twitch, and I have to check both.
Sure.
But I can't see any questions. So. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
More play to the game.
Bye. Bis deins.
Okay. Gehen wir. Oh, sorry. Ich muss ja erstmal durchkommen.
Eine Frage war.
Dann gehen wir zurück.
Ja.
Ja, der lenkt halt. Wir müssen länger.
Ja. Genau. Das Blöde ist, wenn da von ja keine Fragen wäre, das ist immer ein bisschen. Das frage ich auf jeden Fall nach.
Okay, die sind beide im Gespräch.
Ja. Aber stimmt, er ist jetzt vielleicht eher noch kurz bereit. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
A little quick question. Can you play it solo?
You can play solo, you just have to play with 2 characters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great solo version actually. Yeah, it's really good.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay. Hello. We are live on Twitch and YouTube right now. Is it okay to ask some questions? Okay, so here's the I really like these figures. They're really cute and yeah. Did you made it by yourself? Or?
Yeah. So we're self-published. So the 2 sort of miniature collections that you can see in front of you, we've bootstrapped these ourselves. So these are available now, and then these miniatures that you can see at the back, we're hoping to get these to Kickstarter in the next couple of months. It's a game that me and my brother have actually built from the ground up ourselves, sort of with help from friends along the way. And he does all of the concept art. I 3D model them, and then we've had these manufactured, and you can also get the STLs online as well if you own a 3D printer.
Okay. Can you tell something more about this game? How, as I see a lot of dice. How do I play this?
Yeah, so it's based on a D6 system. So most people are familiar with D6. We've it's a sort of in between a skirmish and a really sort of large-scale tabletop war game. So the idea is that you would pick your army and you would play off against someone else. The sort of interesting quirks that our game has is that if I'm going to attack you in some way, you can choose to use your activation to react to what I'm doing. Anything that you could have done during your turn, you would do back to me, so you could shoot at the same time, run into cover, get out of line of sight, charge into me. So again, we've tried to make sure that it's very much down to the players and their tactics rather than relying on what the dice say.
Okay, where can I get some more information about this game for our audience in Germany?
Yeah, so we're Sythopian Wars, so we have a website, so over here, so sythopianwars.com.
Yeah.
We're also on more social media platforms as well. And if you want to check out the rules, they're actually available for free online. So you can look at the rules for yourself, and you'll see all the different sort of tactical parts that we've built into it. We've really tried to make it as streamlined as possible, but with as much depth as we can.
Okay, good. Okay, I don't see any questions in the chat right now, so a little moment please. No questions. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So, ich gebe dir das wieder. Dann sollen wir mal gucken. Hello. We are live on YouTube and Twitch right now. Is it okay to ask you some questions?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I'm not the main creator of the game. I'm not the main creator of the game. If you wanted to come back, but I'm happy to answer questions.
Okay. But you can tell us something about this game.
Of course,
okay.
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is called Trouble on the Tempus. It's a cooperative time disaster management game. It's set on a spaceship called the Tempus, and how it works is you are sort of working to fix issues on the ship. So there's fires and there's electrical faults and there's disasters. When the game gets a little bit too much, you have the option to engage the time drive, and you can go all the way back to the beginning of the game, but by doing so you cause a paradox. Paradox will go into the disaster track, and the disaster cards will go back to the beginning, and then it will start again from the beginning. So everything that you can see on the board, all the fire and everything gets cleared off, and all the characters go back to the time drive, and you start the game again, knowing what is going to be happening and what is coming first, and you should be able to prevent the disasters and do slightly better as the game is going on.
Okay, that sounds a little like easy to learn but hard to master.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So there's quite a lot of, obviously, the characters. These are the character cards you can see here. The characters have their own special abilities that they can do. There's also these sort of things that are littered around the board that people can go into the space and pick up and carry them. So when the board resets during a time drive, all of the stuff gets replenished. So you have the opportunity to go get a fire extinguisher if you don't have one, if there's lots of fire spreading over here. So that's how it works.
Oh, okay, I have to think about everything.
Yes, of course, yes.
Okay, that sounds sweet. How old do I have to be to play?
It's 8+, and it's 2 to 5 players. The sort of crux of the game is you have the hyperdrive has a disaster on it. You need to make sure that you can clear all of the disasters, so that you can flip the hyperdrive card, and then you can enact this console to be able to fly home successfully, and that's how you sort of win the game. But yeah, so it's 2 to 5 players and 8 plus. And this is the creator Christian, by the way.
How long did it take to develop?
The very first prototype to now is like 11 years probably.
It's been a while.
We haven't like properly tried to make it. The last few years we've actually been trying to like properly do it, but yeah. There's a very, very early prototype from 10, 11 years ago.
It seems like a lot of playtesting.
A lot of playtesting, a lot of designing and configuring and things. So to get it to this stage. So yeah, this is the premiere of the game, and we're going to be in Hall 2 799A. So come find our stand and you can play the game. So.
But now it's ready, the game. Where can we purchase this game?
The Kickstarter will hopefully be going up later this year.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
But it is not yet ready?
Not yet ready. No. This is the first time the game has ever been out publicly. Gather an audience.
We are staying tuned.
Exactly. Stay tuned for more. And follow Christian's Brain as well on YouTube.
Hast du das schon? Im Chat war keine Frage. So, I look at the chat, but there are no questions in the chat right now.
No, that's fine. That's all good. I'll give you that back.
Thank you. Bye. Auch interessant aus, aber lass uns mal ganz kurz hier rausgehen.
Es ist sehr eng hier, also nicht wundern, wenn es manchmal ein bisschen dauert, bis wir weitergehen können.
Genau, weil, abnormal Hirni hat geschrieben, wir spielen gerne später mit dem Voice-Chat. Wir haben jetzt heute leider die Sprachdurchsagen deaktiviert. Das sind heute nicht möglich.
Weil wir mit Ach und Krach auf 7 SIM-Karten gekommen sind und die Sprachausgabe würde eine SIM-Karte fressen. Deswegen mussten wir leider heute die Sprachausgaben abschalten. Beim nächsten Mal dann wieder.
Ja, leider. So, ich schaue gerade noch mal zwischendurch. Das ist gar nicht so leicht. Wir bräuchten so noch jemand Drittes, der dann den Chat auch noch beobachtet, zu gucken, wo kann man hingehen, die Interviews zu machen, auch das und dann zu führen. Das sind 2 Leute.
Und dann gleichzeitig noch die Datenraten beobachtet und so Sachen.
Also das ist gar nicht so easy. Okay, nee, deswegen wollte ich kurz erklären, warum nicht, dass ihr euch wundert, warum heute kein Voice-Chat da ist. Das hat leider so eine Kunde, sonst wäre es gar nicht möglich gewesen. So, sollen wir mal ein bisschen weiter, vielleicht gucken wir mal in der Ecke, die ein bisschen ruhiger ist, weil ich hoffe, man hat es jetzt nicht gemerkt, aber der Hintergrund ist mega laut und wenn ich die Gespräche führe, dann habe ich manchmal echt Schwierigkeiten, den Gegenüber zu hören, also schon von der Akustik her. Dazu kommt noch Englisch.
Dann hört man vielleicht im Stream die Antworten, aber du als Fragestellerin hast du nicht.
Ich denke, ist die dumm, der hat es doch gerade gesagt. Dann liegt es auch ein bisschen daran, dass ich das nicht höre oder vielleicht ist auch mein Englisch manchmal auch ein bisschen. Ja, okay.
Okay, geh einfach irgendwo hin, wo die Akustik gut ist.
Ja, genau. Lass uns mal vielleicht erstmal so an den Rand gehen, dann können wir mal einen Überblick sehen, wie groß das ist, weil das sehe ich jetzt erst. Weil eben dachte ich erst, das ist ja gar nicht so viel, aber hier geht es ja noch weiter. Wie wäre es denn vielleicht direkt mit hier? Das sieht eigentlich ganz nice aus. Hello. We are live on YouTube and Twitch right now. Is it okay?
Happy to tell you about the games if you like.
Ah, thank you.
Nice to see you again. Hi. Is that okay like that?
Yes.
Okay. Hi. I'm from Good Games Publishing in Australia. We publish Australian board games. We have 2 games that we're presenting at the show. One's called Surf's Up, and it's a simultaneous bidding game where you bid energy to catch the wave closest to the beach. But if you play the same energy as other players, you might wipe out, in which case the players who play the lower energy, the next highest, will win the waves. So you're trying to collect a series of waves, and the player with the most points at the end of the game wins. There are gold cards that help you maybe chase different particular combinations, and there are cards you can buy from the beach that will improve the points of the waves you've already caught or waves you catch in the future. And there's also replacement energy, because in this game, when you win a wave, the energy card you use to win it is removed from the game. So you have to think very carefully about which waves you're going to try and catch or not catch. And coming second also gets you a minor reward, so you're trying to place yourself to come second, but you don't lose your card when you come second. So a very light 20 to 25 minutes surfing themed game, very thematic. And you have respect tokens, which you use to pay for items on the beach, but they also help break ties. So if you have 3 respects and you play the same energy as somebody with 2, they have to give you the wave. All right? But if you have the same respect as each other, nobody knows who to get the wave, so you might wipe out. And then we also have blue bottles. On these waves, you have to not play the lowest energy. And if you do play the lowest energy, you have to flip over one of these and you lose points. But you can use that to play a refresh card and maybe refresh the cards that you already spent and get more respect as well. So there's a lot of timing considerations and trying to read the table and understand when people are likely to opt out of catching a wave and reset, and then maybe you can get that wave for a lower value card.
I see it's for 2 to up to 6 players.
Yeah, 2 to 6 players. So because everybody's revealing cards at the same time, it's very quick. So each turn is about 20 seconds long. So you play a lot of turns. The game takes about 20 minutes in total.
That sounds funny.
Yeah, you can come and get a demo if you want at the show where we're showing them as well. Do you want to hear about this one?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is Star Tycoon, and it's a game of space capitalism. In Star Tycoon, you're choosing to settle various planets, and then on each planet they have a series of goals. So this planet needs to get a production facility that makes science and another one that makes energy. And if they've got both of those, then they'll get 3 victory points at the end of the game. But these also produce resources, so at the beginning of every 4 rounds in the game, you'll get a production bonus from these as well. So it's engine building, tableau building, and goal chasing with a production of really deluxe illustrated cards. But the interesting thing is you use these resources to buy the cards. As you can see, you'll need various resources to buy various cards, and you'll run out. So one of the actions you can do in the game is go to the galactic market and swap resources out, and when you sell resources they become cheaper in the market, so then other people later on can buy those at a more efficient price. So every time you want to buy or sell something through the market, it changes a little bit and you're affecting the options that other players can do. So you're all trying to get as many resources as you can through this exchange.
Okay. So I see this is the warm-up game, and if the players are talking with me after that, we can play this game.
Yeah, that's right. This is a midweight game, and that's a lightweight game. So 20 minutes, and maybe for 4 players, this would be about 2 hours.
Okay. That sounds really interesting. Where can I purchase these games?
You can get these games through any retailers in Europe. So it goes through Asmodee, and I'll give you my... Yeah, so you should be able to order them through any retail store in Europe.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to get a demo of either of these games at the show, then you can come to this booth, and we're running these games all weekend.
Thank you.
No problem. You're German, right?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Cologne.
Cologne, okay. Excellent. My dad's German, so yeah. Oh no, that's mine now. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Bye.
Oder waren Fragen im Chat?
Nee, Fragen waren nicht im Chat. Ich gucke immer mal zwischendurch. Bei YouTube haben wir leider gar nicht so viele Zuschauer.
Die Frage ist, ob sich das Parallelstreamen auf YouTube überhaupt lohnt, wenn dort nichts los ist. Wobei sind ja User online, von daher passt das schon.
Ja, aber einer von den beiden bin ich.
Okay.
Gut, lass uns mal auch wieder andersrum gehen, weil hier stören wir jetzt gerade Filmaufnahmen. Das muss ja nicht sein. Auch wenn uns hier keiner kennt, aber wir können uns ja trotzdem höflich verhalten. Okay, so. Ich muss das eine oder kleiner machen. Gut, okay. Dann ich mache mal hier so einen Schwenk, dass man so ein bisschen Überblick hat, wie viel es hier gibt. Also wir werden, denke ich, heute noch den einen oder anderen interessanten Gesprächspartner bekommen.
Genau, also hier die Reihen sind relativ lange in beide Richtungen. Müssen wir mal durchgucken. Aber am besten gehst du wirklich vor, damit ich mich mal auf den Bildausschnitt konzentrieren kann.
Ja, das mache ich. Chat, bitte schreibt auch nochmal, ob der Ton wirklich okay ist, ob man alles gut versteht und so.
Ja.
Ja, dann...
Aber es ärgert mich wirklich, dass wir mit den SIM-Karten heute so Probleme hatten, dass wir die aktiviert bekommen haben. Also Sprachausgabe wäre schon cool gewesen. Naja.
Ich laufe ganz gezielt irgendwo hin, auch wenn das nicht immer den Anschein hat. Und zwar habe ich vorhin ein Spiel gesehen von Bean Studios, glaube ich, heißen die. Das sind die Roll Camera gemacht haben und die haben jetzt neue Sachen heute da. Hello. Fine, thank you. We are live on YouTube and Twitch right now. We're from Germany. And can we ask some questions?
And ultimately, I'm over here. I just want to follow me can answer questions about this.
I would dislike it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because I like roll camera, and so I'm very interested in the new games.
Great. Yes, we have one. Talking to this. Hello. Power Vacuum is designed by my friend here, Caleb Winsel-Fisher, and published by me at King Bean Studio. I published Roll Camera. Power Vacuum is a trick-taking game, which is set in a world of anthropomorphic household appliances. So the vacuum cleaner has just died, and now the ministers in their horrible government, the devious iron, the snake-like blender, the militant toaster, and so on, those are the players trying to fill the power vacuum and claim absolute power for themselves. In the trick-taking game, you are basically winning and losing tricks. You win points by winning tricks, and you want to build your great statue with all the points that you get. The first player to build their complete statue wins the game. But in order to do that, you need to fulfill your agenda, which is a secret card where you are betting on who is going to have the most and least power. And you can see all the 5 characters are represented around this board. And so this is their power level here, and so you're trying to, if you lose, you can, this is like a plug, this is a prototype, and in the final version this will be like an electric plug that connects these 2 characters. So if you lose a trick, you can actually move power between the characters and then move a plug. And by doing that, manipulate who has most, who has least, and try and work towards your agenda card. And so it almost has this, because the players can sometimes share a similar person on their agenda, there's almost this element of like social deduction along with trick-taking and a sort of strategic manipulation of, it's almost also an area control element in this sense where you're trying to give the most or reduce power so that, you know, your agenda is fulfilled. That's the gist of it. It just was on Kickstarter this month. We finished the Kickstarter at the beginning of the month. We had over 3,000 backers. For such a weird idea and such a crazy game designed by such a maniac, this was actually a big success for us. We're really happy about it. It's such an odd follow-up to Roll Camera, especially. So we were really pleased that it did as well as it did, and we're really excited to demo it. This is the first show that we're demoing it and get lots of hands-on time.
For our audience in Germany, will you be at the BerlinCon or in Essen this year?
We will definitely be at Essen. We will probably not be at BerlinCon, but we might be. I might have a small presence there. But we'll definitely be at Essen, and that's when the games are due to be finished. So it's printing right now. Fingers crossed. Yeah. So at Essen we should have the final versions ready.
Okay, good. I look if there are any questions. No questions with Twitch and no questions on YouTube.
Because I did such a good job explaining it.
Yeah, yes.
0 questions.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
And good luck for your game.
Thanks a lot.
So, ich gebe dir wieder das Mikro, dass du auch was sagen kannst. Ja, genau. Ja, danke, Lilly. Denkst du dein Feedback? Also der Ton ist okay, die Hintergrundgeräusche hört man schon, aber das können wir leider in der Halle jetzt. Wir hatten gehofft, dass wir euch eine andere Audiolösung anbieten können.
Die wir auch dabei haben,
ja.
Aber für die wir keine Zeit hatten wegen der anderen Geschichte.
Genau. Und es war heute sehr stressig. Wir sind froh, dass der Stream überhaupt doch klappt.
Also wir sind wirklich um 7:20 Uhr morgens in Birmingham gelandet und seitdem haben wir versucht, alles zum Laufen zu bringen. Also, okay.
Nee, da wollte ich jetzt auch gezielt hin. Die hatte ich vorhin, als wir aufgebaut haben, so aus dem Augenwinkel gesehen. Deswegen dachte ich, bevor die nachher weg sind, das hätte ich schade gefunden, weil ich Rollkamera so gut fand und da schon ein bisschen neugierig war. Gut, dann schauen wir mal. Hier sind jetzt natürlich auch viele Leute bei Lucky Duck Games. Wir bräuchten noch eine Person, die immer für uns vorher die Interviews klar macht, die uns quasi so vorne alles freiräumt.
Ja, so wie beim offiziellen Stream das Spiel essen.
Ja, also die Werbung bitte mit Lebenslauf und polizeilichem Führungszeugnis.
Genau. Die hohen Anforderungen werden auch damit vergütet, dass man nichts dafür bekommt. Geh doch einfach mal random irgendwo hin.
Ja, ich suche gerade, wo ich random irgendwo hingehe. Das sollte so ein bisschen zu uns passen, natürlich auch gerade frei sein. Wie zum Beispiel das hier sieht doch ganz interessant aus. Hello, we are live on Twitch and YouTube right now. Is it okay to ask some questions?
Sure, ask me.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Should I clip it or just pause?
Yes, you can clip what you want.
Right.
Yeah, I like this cute artwork and I'm interested. What is this game?
Thank you very much. I draw almost everything inside the game. So I'm the artist and my boyfriend is the designer. So we are just a two-people team. We are from Hungary and we had this very serious problem that we really like playing board games, but our family is not that intuitive. So we wanted to make a game that's good for especially holiday season and very good to introducing new game mechanics for the family, even for the smallest children, even for the older generation. So we basically made a light hero game, a card game, where you have 3 basic actions. Basically there's a color combination, you're collecting presents, fulfilling the wishes of kiddos, getting points for them, and we also have a lot of action cards, different creatures from different cultures around the world. They all have their abilities, and the game is modular, so it can be set to a lighter rule set for smaller children, and it can be taught by setting the rules at the higher level by play to play. So we have 5 different difficulties and they can be changed and interlocked, and the game got a lot of testing, so it's basically balanced every time with the scoring. The highest level of difficulty has a set collection with the little personality symbols of the kiddos, and so they are getting an endgame scoring that we have on the other side of the player aid cards. So this is basically the game. It's obviously a very cute Christmas game. We have a base box that we are selling right now. We have 8 playable characters, with each of them with different abilities, and we have extras like the play mat. This is not inside the base box, but it has like more cards than Dixit, so it's a very compact little package. And of course the card sleeves and extra cards we are also selling, like this very special little characters are fitting in the base box with everything sleeved.
Is this your first game?
Yes.
Is this your first game?
Yes, this is our first game. My first game at least. My boyfriend is working together with other designers and publishers. So for example, he was working for Mind Clash before we made our own game, but this is our first self-published game we did. And we're already working on a more difficult one in the meantime.
but I think it's a good idea. So for the family and so, it's Christmas and I have a game about Christmas. So I like the idea. Huh?
Yes, if you're interested, we are here all days. So we have a booth in Hall 1. You can visit us anytime and you can try the game at our table. We are also selling the game also in bundles. So there is a good option to get it cheaper than it will be on the market later.
All right, thank you. I'm having a look because if there are some questions, but I don't see any. No questions. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Bye. So, Achtung, nicht so schnell wegrennen. Das war schon süß mit diesen Weihnachtsillustrationen. Und ich kann mir das so gut vorstellen, wenn man so eigentlich so Familie hat, die nicht so gerne spielt und dann so ein weihnachtliches Spiel. Warum nicht?
Also es ist kein Lob, wenn du sagst, dieses Brettspiel ist für Spiele, die nicht, für Familien, die nicht gern spielen.
Das hat sie aber doch gesagt. Achso, hast du wahrscheinlich nicht mehr zu laut ist. Das hat sie gesagt. Sie hat gesagt, das Problem ist, dass sie super gerne spielt, aber viele in der Familie nicht so gerne. Deswegen haben sie das Spiel extra entwickelt.
Du weißt doch, wie es hier ist. Man muss nur 1 Meter weiter wegstehen, man versteht nichts.
Das stimmt. Also ich bin froh, beim einigen Gesprächspartner kann ich super gut verstehen, aber leider hatte ich vorhin 2, 3, wo ich wirklich Schwierigkeiten hatte. Sollen wir mal tauschen? Dann lass uns mal, wir sind nämlich gerade hier an den Tisch, da können wir kurz uns dann kannst du mal vorgehen und ich mache die Kamera. Also wenn es okay ist für dich. Dann kriegst du mein Handy.
Genau. Du nimmst die Kamera.
Achso, dann nimmst du meine Tasche. Die ist tatsächlich sehr neutral. Finde ich schon.
So. Okay. Das Problem ist, die Sachen, die mich interessieren, sind in der Regel belegt.
Ja, jetzt weißt du aber, wie das ist. Ja. Das geht doch halt mal irgendwo hin.
Ja, genau. Ich kann ja mal irgendwo hingehen.
Ja, genau. So mache ich das auch. Ja.
Hello. We are live on YouTube and Twitch. Is it okay to do a live interview?
It's okay. Well, my English is what it is, but if you don't have any problem.
My English is also bad, so it's okay. Okay.
Okay. May I put it or can I hold it this way?
However you like, both work.
Okay.
You are the main character,
So, what is your newest, coolest game?
Whoa, newest, coolest game. Well, these ones are released, so maybe I want to speak about Cities, which is coming next month. Okay. It's the easiest one that we have here, but it's a Phil Walker Harding design, author of Sushi Go, Cacao, and some other great games. In this game, you try to build a neighborhood of one big city. There are 8 different cities in the box. You try to build a neighborhood. How do you do it? By making a worker placement mechanics. So you can take card points to score points at the end of the game. But if you come to take the card, you are not doing the things that give you points, such as taking a tile to build your neighborhood, taking these little tiles that awards you with extra points, and taking the building tokens that allow you to do bigger buildings that will give you points in these cards. And also each city has its own awards depending on the kind of city. For example, New York. In New York, you have to do a lot of big buildings. In Barcelona, you have to do buildings near the sea. Each city has its own particularities.
Okay, you said this is the easiest game of all.
Of these four, yes.
Yes. Are the others expert games?
This one, Salton Sea, definitely it's an expert game. It's an economic game. You can perform at least 13 actions in your turn. This is your personal board. You've got some engineers. It's also a worker placement game. You own a company in California in the Salton Sea. You are extracting brine in order to get geothermal energy and lithium. You sell them in order to fulfill contracts, and you have a stock market here. You can buy stock change in each of these three companies, and you take benefits, which means more actions. And the most interesting thing of this game is that the money is also cards that you can use to perform better actions than the ones you have in your personal board. So you have to think very carefully what do you do, because if you spend the money, you are spending the cards that will be useful.
Okay. In my home country, Germany, economy games always sell bad. I don't know why. Because a major mechanism of board games is scarcity and difficulty to decide which move to take, and that's perfect for economy. I don't know why economy games in Germany sell worse than other games.
Well, maybe I put the economy ticket to this game, but you fulfill contracts, you can buy investigation cards, because in fact you're running an engineer company. Some Salton Sea is in California, so we designed the game thinking that Apple thing, that I don't know, that valley where Silicon Valley thing with the startups and all this kind of things. And well, you can investigate, you can perform contracts, you can, and in fact you are doing some this engineering stuff. You drill, you take these licenses to drill more efficient fields. You have to take care not to surpass your machinery capacity, because you will lose a lot of points at the end of the game. So yes, maybe economy is a good tag to it.
Okay, one user in the chat writes that she likes the artwork.
Thank you. Amelia Sales, it's a great illustrator. She made, well, in fact, in Spain, we're based in Barcelona, in Spain. Amelia Sales won, because it's Sales in Spain, but it's pronounced like in English Sales, but it's Sales. She won a prize. She won one of the best awards to illustrators back there in Barcelona, in Catalonia. So we are proud that she join our team to make such a great game.
Okay, I think this is the only game we haven't talked about yet.
Well, we have Rock Hard that it's coming. It's the first time we show it anywhere, and it's coming at the end of the year. So at the end, if we can speak about it. But Sun is a very special game for us. It's mainly a pick up and delivery game. Basically, you go to a place, take something, you go to another place and sell it. You've got this personal board where a lot of things happens. And I said that it's special because it takes place in the Kemushi saga, that it's this kind of universe Rebirth has created that involves games like Bitoku, Bamboo, Yokai Sketch, and other games we published. And in fact, I don't know if you know Bitoku, which takes place in a big forest, in a big Japanese-style forest. And this is the same board, but where you had trees, now you got a big desert. So something had happened here. Players will discover it in our next release, which is Daitoshi, that will come to an Essen. If you go to Essen, we will meet there. And you said you were Germany? From
We
Germany?
always go to Essen.
So it's your fair, it's a big fair there in Europe. So we are releasing Daitoshi in Essen, isn't it? So players will discover what lies between Bitoku and San. The forest, the desert, Daitoshi, in Japanese means big city. So players will discover it there.
These 3 games.
And finally we got Rock Hard.
When is the game?
I think it's the most thematic game we've got displayed here.
Just wait a minute so she can film it.
This is designed by Jackie Fox, which in fact was a rock star in the 70s. She was performing in an all-female band in the 70s. Here you are trying to become a rock star. You start from beginning, you have a side job, but you are trying to do small things like hire an indie promo, recording some tapes, and you are gaining jobs, reputation, songs, and your final goal is to perform at the big stages. You will gain fame points, but as you can see here, you will need a lot of requirements to perform there and gain a lot of points. I said this is very thematic because it's a worker placement too. You take your character and say whatever you want to do. You can consume some candy to make more actions, but you have to take care because if you consume too much candy, you will have a sugar rush. Candy, you know what I mean? So candies in the 70s are not like sugar, but well, you know what I mean. So well, we are very proud of the production here. You see the money, you see the personal board, the standees. So
I really like how different your topics are. Here we have got this rock and roll thing, there we've got this startup thing. So completely different. It's really amazing.
Thank you. We try to create a lot of different. I think there is 2 great bullet points are the components and the thematic differences. As you said, we can go from a desert, Japanese style desert, to California, and you are a rock star, and you create a neighborhood in this more familiar style game. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, cool. I look into the chat. Okay, no further question. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
See you.
So, was mir gerade eingefallen ist, du hattest ja vorhin schon mal vorgelesen, dass das Artwork schön ist. Ich habe jetzt wieder vorgelesen, das Artwork ist schön. Wahrscheinlich habe ich aus Versehen deine alte Chatnachricht vorgelesen.
Das macht ja nichts, dann freuen die sich.
Ja.
Dann freuen die sich. Also, guckst du auch zwischendurch auf YouTube?
Ah, muss ich noch machen.
So Heldenlisten.
Oh, Momo Baxi, danke fürs Lob. So, jetzt gucke ich auf YouTube. Neben YouTube ist nichts im Chat, wenn ich es richtig sehe. Dann zurück. Okay. So.
Oh, Pampero, das habe ich irgendwie gehört.
Kennst du das?
Nee, aber ich habe schon mal davon gehört.
Hello. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. Is it okay to do a live interview for you? Yeah, okay, great. This is the microphone.
Okay.
You can hold it or put it here, whatever you want.
We'll do this, because knowing me, I'll just be like toying with it if I'm not careful. We'll move that out of the way for a second.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. This looks interesting. What is Pampero about?
So Pampero is a game in which you play as competing electrical companies. Yes. You use your work crews, represented by bulldozers on the map, to build your wind towers to generate energy. You transmit that energy to other locations on the board by building power towers, also with your work crews. And then once you have distributed energy to a zone, you can use it to fill contracts with various cities around the board, these rectangular or square tiles. When you take a contract, you will put it into the player board, into your control panel, and gain the benefits from that contract. Usually an income increase, but it's possible to have additional bonus increases based on where you place the contract, among other things. The main goal of the game is to earn more money money than your competitors. So at the end of the game, whoever has the most money wins.
Okay, so it's a typical Euro game. Could you say that, or?
It is definitely a Euro game. There's a lot of different components. There's a lot of different mechanisms occurring. I will say that one of the things that I really love about it is that the theme really informs all of your actions. So if it's an action that would make sense to do in real life, in that scenario, you can probably do it in the game. The most unrealistic thing is probably that we have, $20 to build things. You're not building a wind tower for $20, but maybe multiply that by $1 million.
Yeah, maybe it would be if you had a 2 billion coin, it wouldn't fit on the coin. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, I will look into the chat. Okay. Oh, you won the UK Games Expo award this year?
Yep.
Okay, cool. This is important to know. The chat says it looks interesting. Another chat user says that it's already said that a German publisher will publish it, Skellig Games. And it's also on Kickstarter?
It's out of Kickstarter. It's in production. It's currently on a boat. So it's supposed to be here in the UK in, what did you say, a couple weeks, 3-4 weeks, something like that. So we are taking pre-orders here. If you order it here, it'll ship to you when it arrives.
Okay, yeah, very cool. Okay, no further questions in the chat. So thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Bye. Hello.
Sieht ja auch süß aus.
We are live on Twitch and on YouTube. Is it okay to do a live interview? Yeah. Okay, great. This is a microphone.
You can hold it, or
you can hold it or put it here, wherever you want. Both work. So, this looks very mysterious. What is this game about?
So it's Cosmara. It's something I've been writing for 25 years.
Yes.
It's about the human race as it goes out into space for the first time. Finds two warring alien races, the Saurons and the Grey over here. Essentially, they're at war with each other, have been for millions of years, and we put ourselves right in the middle of it. And then how everyone deals with that is up to the players from then on in. So we've got an actual play podcast that tells the story of some of the main characters, so these guys and these two. And then after that, we've got an app as well, and the app stitches everyone's games together. So if you play in Australia one day and record what happens in your game on the app, we play in England the day after, we take note of that game, and vice versa. So it's a living, breathing universe that it creates.
Okay, great.
That's it in a nutshell.
Can you already buy it?
Yeah, so the alpha and the miniatures are available on our website. We've got the beta rules on the Patreon. The actual play podcast episode 1 is out already on Spotify, Apple Music, all that kind of thing. And the apps are on the app stores as well.
Okay, great. I'll have a look at the chat. Okay, yeah. Okay, no new questions in the chat. Okay, looks very promising. Thank you for the interview. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yes.
Oh yeah. That's mine now.
Yes. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Ach so. Ja.
Ich entschuldige mich sehr für das Geräusch.
So.
Dieses Knacken und Raschen.
Hier, das Rebirth von Rainer Knizia. Weißt du was drüber? Du bist oft besser informiert als ich.
Ich bin mir da tatsächlich unsicher, weil ich gesehen habe, das mit eben von wusste ich, warum mir das andere Spiel was gesagt hat tatsächlich.
Okay. Ja.
Guck mal, mal in den Chat rein und was machen?
Ja, 12 IW85 schreibt, sind ja bis jetzt interessante Spiele dabei. Ich finde auch, dass da einige schöne dabei sind. Ich würde hier vielleicht nochmal fragen, weil hier auch visuell was zu sehen ist.
Das kenne ich.
Das kennst du? Dann machst du das
gerade. Nee, ich muss gerade überlegen. Das sagt mir, ich zeig's euch mal, Chat. Das kommt mir super bekannt vor gerade.
So, Art Society ist doch gar nicht mehr neu. Ja, die Verlage haben auch zum Teil ihre älteren Spiele auf dem Tisch stehen.
Das
aber
stimmt.
Es geht auch um die Neuheiten. Ja.
Ach, aber das ist...
Soll ich warten? Hi, we are live on YouTube and on Twitch. Is it okay to do a live interview for you? Okay, great. This is a microphone.
So just hold it?
You can hold it or you can fix it at your shirt, whatever you like. Both ways work. So, I see a lot of interesting games. What is your newest one?
Our latest one is this one. It's on Kickstarter right now. It's called Rebirth. Mm-hmm. It's a tile-laying game, a new tile-laying game by Rainer Knizia. It's a brand new game. It's kind of old school, like the classics. You know, it feels like them a lot, but it's very, very accessible. It's the rules take 5 minutes to explain, but then the game reveals quite a lot of nuance as you play.
So it's not just a family game because there are more strategies, even if you can learn it quickly? Or?
Yes, so there's one side, Scotland, which is largely a family game. It's very easy to learn, but it's still quite competitive. Okay. Then on the reverse side, there's Ireland map, which takes the competition up a notch a little bit. It introduces more variety, more competition. And that one is, I would say, probably Family Plus or something like that. It's still a very accessible game. Cool. Takes 5 minutes to learn, or maybe 8 minutes, and lasts around an hour to play. So it's definitely easy for families to play.
How hard is it to get a license from Rainer Knizia?
I mean, it's not very difficult. I don't think so. I mean, it depends. Like to find a good. I mean, there's a lot of good games there, so you need to choose the thing that fits you well, right? He's very prolific, and he makes a lot of games. So
I just thought because it's a big name in the game industry.
Yes. So well, I guess for us, we had a very smooth kind of working relationship with them. So it's been really great. They're very well organized. They show you what they can offer, and then you have a discussion. It's been really nice actually working with them.
Cool.
It went very smooth for us.
Okay. Do you have another game which could be interesting for our audience?
So this is Fateforge. This is a game that's coming soon. This one is on Kickstarter. It will release at Essen. This one will come out in the summer. This is a kind of like an action adventure, like RPG in a box type game. But the whole concept of it is to streamline it and make it accessible to as many people as possible. So you can set I don't know if you've played games like Gloomhaven or Descent of that type. We call this that game, but for people who have jobs, who don't have that much time. So you can play a whole session of it in 1 hour, including setup and takedown.
So it's not a campaign?
It is a campaign, but you can play a session. You can get a satisfying session in 1 hour. You don't have to play for 4 hours to feel satisfied. Right? The battles are about 20 minutes long, and setup takes about 5 to 10 minutes. And the whole concept of it is that with little time, you get a lot of experience. So in many of these type of games, one turn is walk 5 spaces and hit a goblin for 2 damage, right? In this one, one turn is I walk into a room, I kill this one, I shoot that guy, then I cartwheel into the next room and backstab this one. That's one turn, and you do it this fast. Right?
Okay, and the monsters don't defend themselves?
Some of them block you, some of them do, but they react in different areas. So I go first, then the monsters go, then this other player goes, and this other player goes, and then at the end, whoever's still alive attacks us back.
So you basically calculate in your head how many turns do I have and which things do I first?
Yes. So each player has a chance to attack. and then all the monsters react at the end. And then randomly, some of the monsters, you don't know which ones, will attack you at some point, but this is randomly determined by the app. So you don't know always when it's going to happen, but at the beginning of that round, you see when the monsters will attack you. It could be here, it could be here, it could be there. And then, okay, so I'll go first because I'll go before the monsters, right? You say, okay, I'll go first. I'll try to kill as many of them as possible so when they react, I don't get hit. And then you cooperate and you try to figure out how it's best to go with the puzzle.
Okay, cool. I'll take a look at the chat if anybody has a question.
Sure, please.
Okay, no new questions. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you so much.
And I've heard you are in Essen.
We will be at Essen, yes. We will release this one and we'll have this for sale for sure.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, we just need to buy it. Thank you so much. Bye. So, Basti hat noch geschrieben, Rebirth ist in seiner Top 1300 Knizia-Spiele. Das wollte ich ihm jetzt nicht vorlesen.
Moment, nicht so schnell.
Okay. So, du musst erst wieder anstecken, gell?
Das ist mit einer Hand gar nicht so einfach, wie man so denkt.
Okay, ich laufe in der Zwischenzeit.
Ich nehme es jetzt einfach in die Hand. So. Ich muss ja wahrscheinlich sowieso gleich wieder ausstöpseln.
Hello, we are live on YouTube and on Twitch. Is it okay to do a live interview? Yeah, okay, great. This is a microphone.
You wanted to do advertising, right?
So I have to clip it to myself, or I'll just hold it?
Yeah, however you like. You can also fix it on the shirt, or you can hold it. Okay.
So this is Earth Rising,
yes,
and this is a game about climate change, but hope around climate change. So you're looking to bring the world into sustainable harmony over a period of 20 years. It's fully cooperative. You can play one of 6 characters who each have different abilities that can affect how you play. Each of the pieces that you see here, these represent people that are supported currently by various different practices, some of which are sustainable, some of which are unsustainable. These in the middle represent population who are in poverty, currently not supported. These are your influence cards, and they correspond to the 2 sides of the tokens. So by playing these, you can manipulate what's happening on the board. Ultimately, you want to be taking strain away so that these can be turned into the board, which can then support more practices which can get people out of poverty. To win the game, you want all of the pieces in, and you've got 20 turns to do it. Even if you don't necessarily win, you've still left the world in a better place than it was before, which is the kind of story of hope that we're trying not to whack you over the head with. So that's Earth Rising in a nutshell.
So another big game about climate change is E-Mission. Do you know the game E-Mission?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it's another game about climate change. So,
well, it's quite popular at the moment, isn't it? We actually started developing this about 3 years ago, so we were sort of at the front end of it. And the manufacturing, we were very particular about having it 100% sustainable, so there's no plastic in it at all. The varnishes and things that have been used, it's not matte lamination, so it's no plastic, things like that. And since we got this manufactured, the industry has actually picked up, and more manufacturers are now providing sort of sustainable materials and thinking more about that.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I spoke to I heard from German publishers. They are also trying to be sustainable, but when they talk to publishers who are over the big pond, they say, why couldn't I produce in China? So,
well, this was actually actually produced in China, but it was a company called Hero Time, and they were the only one we found who said, yeah, we can do it sustainably.
Okay.
And like I say, since then, some others over that way have sort of jumped on that because it's the way things are going, right? People are being more hot on that. I think.
When you're doing I really like that you said there's hope in the game. It's not just frustrating.
Exactly. And it's fully cooperative, so it gets you all thinking and talking. There isn't any moments where you're sitting doing nothing. Even in your the parts where it's not your turn, you're still interacting with the other players because you can pass cards. I might be in charge of this sector. Someone draws an orange card, hand it to me, so that on my turn it's more valuable and we'll get more. It'll be more effective. So you're constantly sort of thinking about not just what you're doing, but what everyone else is doing.
So would you say it's hard to play, or is it?
No. It's got. There are only each turn. You've got 4 actions that you can do. On the back of each card, it shows you the various different things you can do. Some of them are as simple as clear up some strain. Others are hand a card to someone else or use your influence cards. After one turn, you've got it. You know, and some turns are so fast because you're just into it. Other turns you have to think a bit harder and really sort of talk to the other players about what your strategy is and stuff. But learning curve is short and medium.
Sounds like a great game. I'll take a look at the chat if anybody has got a question. Okay, there's a question. Will you demo the game at Essen?
No plans to this year, so probably not.
Okay.
We would do it. It's an aspiration, but probably not.
Okay, so dear live audience, you have to come here to the UK.
Oh yes, for sale. Have a look at our website.
Okay.
Welcome to join in. You can play it online. Always happy to have more votes.
Yeah, it's on Tabletop Simulator, so you can play it there and Screen Top. So we've got it online in 2 places.
Okay, you can try it online. Perfect. We're looking to try and... sounds very interesting. Thank you very much for the interview. Thank you. Hello, we are live on Twitch and live on YouTube. Would it be okay to do a live interview?
Of course.
Yeah, okay, great. This is the microphone. Okay, this looks like a horror game, am I right?
Yeah, it's more of a zombie apocalypse survival type game. That's what you're looking at.
Okay. Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about the mechanics? What is this game about?
Yeah, cool. So what you're ultimately doing is you're drawing resources out of a bag, and you're using them to spend them on to build your base. At the end of each round, the zombie's going to attack your base from a direction and from a strength. You need shield down that side to obviously repel that zombie attack. And if you manage to do that, you'll get marks up on these trackers on here. If you don't do that, then your characters become wounded. If they get 2 wounds on them, they can't use their ability. If they get 3 wounds on them, they die. So it's about managing your base and your characters. The other option you have is you may go scavenging on the community map. And the community map offers points and it offers other characters to join your base. Now with them characters, you may choose to take them into your base. However, they do cost you more upkeep in terms of baths, beds and food. Or you can just leave them and just take the resources and be a bit cutthroat type thing. So yeah, that's the game. Plays 1 to 4 players. Plays in 60 minutes. We do have solo scenarios, so there's 2 solo scenarios for those solo gamers out there. It details set characters that you're going to have, and you've got to look for, like the first scenario you've got to find Jojo, the second one you've got to save Flo, so there's different things and different aspects that you've got to get to try and do that.
Yeah, cool. Can you read it's coming to Game Power?
Yeah, on 23rd of July, yeah, so that's when we go live. Like I say, we're building everything up to that campaign and maybe all these expos and stuff. So,
why did you decide to crowdfund it?
One, because you can't miss out on the marketing. You know, I mean, they charge you a percentage, but it's good marketing out there. There's a lot of people that look every Tuesday, look for new campaigns. So, and the other thing as well is with GameFound, they're actually managing all the iOS number, the VAT for Europe and America. So it kind of, as a first-time publisher, makes it a lot easier for me to to get the game out there. Really.
Okay, it looks very good. I hope you will get many backers.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for the interview.
No, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Okay, ich sehe noch im Chat viele Grüße an Lirius Games. Age of Comics ist ein tolles Spiel. Wahrscheinlich sind wir da eben dran
Age of Comics. Wo habe ich das übersehen? Das will ich mir auch
wir sind ja eben hier durchgelaufen. Sollen wir noch mal wechseln?
Nö.
Ja, aber jetzt zum Beispiel hier wüsstest du ja mehr über das Spiel als ich.
Aber ich habe keine Ahnung, wo die sind. Ich will auf jeden Fall noch Isla nachher. Das will ich auch noch sehen. Das ist ein Spiel. Ich hoffe, dass da irgendwie Dinosaurier vorkommen. Ich bin mal gespannt. Sieht auch schön aus.
Hello. We are live on Twitch and live on YouTube. Would it be okay to do an interview live? Okay, great. This is the microphone. So, this looks like a cool tabletop game.
Yes, so this is Flick Fleet, which is a two-player space combat dexterity game where you literally flick your ships into position, then flick dice off the top of your ships at other ships. And the die damages the first thing it hits unless it goes out of play. So if the die goes out of play, nothing's dead. And if a ship leaves the mat, they've run away. So don't do that. It's a game of control, not power. So basically you've got two types of ships. You've got these fighter and bomber wings. These ones shoot as many times as they have pieces, so that has 3 shots, but as it takes damage, it gets smaller and harder to hit, but only shoots twice, then once, then it's destroyed. The larger ships, like these ones, have a dashboard, and on your turn, basically you're going to choose a ship and take 2 different actions with it. The little ones can only move and shoot in either order. The bigger ones have a dashboard that tells you which options are available to you. For this one, he can shoot 3 times, he can recharge his shields, and he can repair his engines as long as there's at least 1 disc on the dashboard. As you take damage, first you lose your shields, then the die result tells you which system has been damaged. So in this case, the 6 means you would lose your engines and the ship can no longer move now. You've always got the engineering action, which lets you put a disc back on. You've got a shield generator that lets you restore a shield cube, and then you can also take other actions. Some of the bigger ships have nuclear weapons, or they can launch mines, repairs, they can do all sorts of things. Then we've got aliens, which have other crazy abilities, including parasitic boarders, which eat your ships from the inside out. So all of this is included in the base game. We've got 5 now expansions. This one here is a standalone 2-player game called Flick Fleet Xeno Wars, but if you put it with the base game, you can play with 2 to 4 players. And all of these ships are laser cut and etched by Paul in his garage. So it's very much an indie made-at-home labour of love game. So it starts out as a very simple game. You're just flicking ships into position, then flicking dice off the top of those ships at other ships. The die will damage the first thing it hits, whether it's your own ship, an opponent's ship, or a piece of scenery. But once you start taking damage, the order in which you activate your ships and which actions you take, because you only get 2 actions and they have to be different, that becomes a really important tactical decision about whether you raise your shields or repair a system or move out of range or shoot. You get a lot of things for free because it's very difficult to accurately flick a D10 60 or 90 centimeters, so range is free. That's an easy shot. This is a very hard shot. You get cover for free because if there's one of your own ships in the way, it's very difficult to curve the die behind it and hit that ship, not this one. So you get a lot of the sort of the standard things you would get in a miniatures game just come automatically from the fact that you're literally flicking dice at other ships. And that's Flick Fleet in very few words.
Okay, sounds great. Where can I buy it?
Yes, you can buy it. So we're on stand 2564 at the UK Games Expo this weekend. We have 6 different boxes, although this one is not currently available because we're fulfilling the latest Game Fan campaign at the moment. Each of the games come in 2 flavours. There's a deluxe version which is etched and cut, or the standard version which is just laser cut. And this one takes Paul 3 times as long to laser etch in his garage as the first one, so this is more expensive. So the base game is £35 for the standard edition, £55 for the deluxe edition.
Our core audience is in Germany. Can they get it shipped or something like that?
You can buy it from our website. With recent changes, we now do, what's the word? Duty pay shipping to Germany. So if you buy it from our website, we pay the German import VAT.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Dankeschön.
So, danke für den Hinweis mit der Videoqualität. Ich weiß auch, wodurch die verursacht wird. Wir müssen einen kurzen Reset machen. Ganz kurz wird das Signal gleich weg sein.
Alles klar?
Okay. Okay.
Ja, ist wieder da.
Sind es immer noch Falschfarben? Nee, sieht gut aus,
das
oder?
Sieht jetzt gut
Moment,
aus.
Ich filme mal dich, dann kann man das bei Nahaufnahmen besonders gut erkennen immer. Genau, Problem ist behoben. Alles klar.
Gut. Okay.
Also, vielen Dank für den Hinweis. Weil ich mitten im Interview war, habe ich nicht sofort reagiert.
Wir stehen gerade mitten vorne am Stand, das ist ein bisschen...
So. Genau, jetzt ist die Hardware resettet, jetzt sollte es wieder gehen. Bei deinem Handy kam eben eine Datenwarnung.
Das macht nichts, die kannst du ignorieren. Ich habe 30 Gigabyte.
Ja, ich mache jetzt aber auf nur Chat oder so.
Nee, das kannst du ignorieren. Ich habe 30 Gigabyte.
Okay. Gut.
Die macht die Warnung schon bei 2 Gigabyte, weil ich war zuvor war, das umzustellen. Also,
so.
Das heißt, du hast...
Do you like a challenging puzzle? Do you like puzzles? If you don't like puzzles, I won't bother you.
We are more the board gamers.
Board gamers.
So,
okay, I won't bother you. When it comes to puzzles, this is really...
Okay, thank you. Hi. We are currently live on Twitch. Would it be okay to do a live interview?
Of course.
Yeah, great.
Are you guys from Germany?
Yes.
What part?
Cologne.
Cologne. I'm from Berlin.
Ah, okay.
Aber ich bin nicht Deutsch. Ich bin Kanadier.
How did it happen that you end up in Berlin?
Long story. I was doing a trip around the world and then I got a job offer in Berlin. So I ended up moving there directly from my trip.
Okay.
So,
but I think Berlin is not the worst town to play board games.
No, it's quite a good town to play board games in. And Germany in general has, you know, an incredible population of board game players. So
and short way to Essen.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And to Berlin.
Exactly, this is true. Are you guys going to attend BerlinCon?
Yes.
Yes? Perfect. See you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will also live stream in Berlin.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, shall I tell you about the game?
Yes, that's
excellent. So, this is Siberian Manhunt. So, it's a 2-player asymmetrical hidden movement game. And 1 player plays a U-2 spy plane pilot who has crash landed in the Soviet Union in 1960s. And the other player plays the Soviet general who is trying to catch him. And so the fugitive is trying to cross the border into China by the end of the game, or get to the end of the hidden movement track, whereupon the government gives up the chase. And the Soviets are trying to catch to capture or to kill the fugitive before he can do that. So it's played over multiple rounds. The game has seasons, and throughout the game, movement is easier in the summer. You can search the wilderness deck and find plants and animals to hunt and to gather in the summer. And in the winter, movement is harder. You have to have warm clothes and shelter. The fugitive also will go into the wilderness and be able to craft items to help them survive, or they can go into towns and find good equipment there that will help them survive. But going into towns comes at a risk, because every time they enter a town, you draw from the manhunt bag. And depending on what token you draw, these represent loyal communists. These represent silent citizens. Silent citizens won't reveal the fugitive's location, but the loyal communists will. And during the course of the game, both sides are adding to the bag by doing different actions. The government can do propaganda campaigns, which add more loyal communists to the bag. The fugitive can do heroic actions, which add more silent citizens to the bag. So they can do combined bag building game as well as deck management and survival.
I really like historical games.
Excellent.
How did you get the idea for this topic?
So I read a book, and the book is called The Last of the Breed, and it's about a Cold War test pilot who gets captured by the Russians and held in Siberia, and he manages to escape his prison and escape across the taiga in Siberia, and eventually crosses the land bridge back into Alaska. And he gets chased by the KGB throughout the entire book, and it's a great, wonderful adventure story about survival, but also about him meeting the people of Russia as he goes through. And so the fugitive, as they go through their adventure, they'll encounter all kinds of people and animals that will either help or hinder them on the way. So the artwork has been done by 3 separate artists, and it's quite frankly quite beautiful.
Yeah. I also like the expressions of the characters on the
Absolutely.
artwork. Yes.
Yeah. And the artwork for the government is intended to be more like propaganda posters, and a little different from the kind of painterly style of the fugitive side.
Okay, cool. Is this your first board game?
This is my first board game, yes.
So, did you read the book and decide I have to make a board game about that, or did you always had in mind, oh, one day I want to make a board game?
So this is actually the 6th board game I've designed, okay. But it's the only one, or the first one, that I felt was really worth taking to publication. So I've always been fascinated with board games and wanting to develop my own, but this is the first one that really clicked.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really, really interested.
Excellent.
So
if you'd like, you can scan the QR code, and when we launch on GameFound, then I'll notify you.
Okay, so the starting date is not set yet.
I would like to actually have the GameFound campaign running during Essen this year.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure we'll see you again. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Take care. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Ja, also ich habe das nicht gesagt, um mich einzuschleimen, sondern ich habe das wirklich, ich meine das wirklich, dass ich das sehr originell finde. Ich mag ja sowieso historische Settings und halt dieses spezielle Setting auf einem Buch basierend, fand ich sehr interessant. Auch das, was ich jetzt trotz der Akustik von der Mechanik mitbekommen habe, wirkte interessant. Ich bin mal gespannt.
Ja, nee, also würde ich auf jeden Fall, ist ja ein 2-Personen-Spiel, also ich werde es auf jeden Fall mitspielen. Ich fand es auch so interessant, die Politiker so Propaganda-Style und das andere so richtig schön, also das ist total toll gemacht.
So, jetzt, hier sehe ich noch so was Größeres.
Das sieht auch schön aus.
We are live on Twitch. Would it be okay to do a live interview?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This is a microphone. If you want to hold it or fix it on your shirt or...
Sure. Right, just clip this on here.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, I see a lot of material.
Yes.
Yes. What is this game about?
This is Europa Universalis, the price of power. You might know the computer game of the similar name.
I've heard about it, but not played it.
There you go. The computer game is essentially a grand strategy made by Paradox Interactive, which was originally made from a board game from 1992, which was very, very, very complex.
Okay.
Was turned into a computer game, and now 4 editions of that computer game later, it has been turned back into a board game that's a lot more understandable and more playable for the more...
So I guess the original board game was also very long and...
Yeah,
so
the original board game, being a war game from 1992, was more on the level of what you might expect from something like World in Flames or something like that. Something with a lot of tables and a lot of stuff going on, where someone thought, well, this is better off being a computer game. And then right now someone took that computer game and went, well, I can turn this into a board game and actually be understandable now.
Okay. So, what are the mechanics?
It is part war game, part 4X, part very much Euro game, I guess. There are a bunch of different mechanics that are going on.
So this looks very much like a victory.
Yeah, this is definitely a score track.
Yes.
During which, during the game, you will score a whole bunch of points, but it has that Eurogame element of, at the end of the game, you score a bunch more points based on what you have. But none of that is actually hidden, so all of the point scoring is very public. Everyone plays a power from either starting in 1444 or some other era between there and the Napoleonic era. Everyone plays something. It doesn't have to be one of... There are, I believe, 16 different featured realms. So, for example, France and England and all the big ones, they're featured, but you could also... There's nothing getting in the way of you playing, say, Pfalz over there. And just making your way like that. People get missions to go accomplish, to kind of guide their way into, this is a complex game, we will offer you some handholds here, but you're very free to play without them as well and go, well, would you just want to make our own way and do that? But mainly it hinges on 3 different aspects. That is to say, administrative power, that is, you are trying to maintain control of your realm and maintain internal integrity of that. So if your realm is falling apart because you have a lot of rebels going on, you use your administrative power to raise your stability and make your people happier. You use your administrative power to convert your religion, because obviously the time frame between in the Renaissance era is the emergence of Protestantism and the Anglican Church. So you're dealing with the religious warfare, you're dealing with the areas you control, the people who live there, converting faith from beneath you, and you need your administration to deal with that. You have diplomatic power to have trade. You have diplomatic power to engage in diplomacy with other realms, and to befriend them, make alliances, that sort of thing. Possibly incorporate them into your realm in a friendly fashion. And then you have military power to, well, wage war, build armies, go conquer things.
So for 4X games, it would be typical that you've got maybe four players. Could you play this also with 2 players?
It plays very well solo or with 2 players.
Yes.
Up to 4 players with the base game, and up to 6 players with the expansion. But then there is an entire booklet here of solo and bot rules. So essentially, you can set up any player to be run by a essentially artificial intelligence run by largely flowcharts of decisions.
Cool. Okay, even solo playable. Yeah, great game. Yeah. Thank you very much for the interview.
My pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So, ich hoffe, ich penne nicht manchmal dabei, den Chat zu beobachten. Also 12IW85 hatte gefragt, für wie viele Personen ist dieses Spiel. Ich hoffe, es hat sich auf dieses bezogen. Ja, danke, dann hat es gestimmt. Okay.
Ja, ansonsten, wenn man mal was übersehen hat, zu spät kommt, gerne nochmal schreiben. Wir können auch nochmal zurückgehen, nochmal nachfragen.
We are currently live on Twitch. Would it be okay to do a live interview?
Yeah, sure.
Great. This is a microphone. Just hold it off.
We're two authors.
Okay.
This is his game and this is mine.
Okay. You can start with this game and then...
Yeah, okay, but I'll go there.
Okay.
Hi, you have the signal? You hear it? You hear it? It's okay?
Yes.
Hi. So my name is Charles. I'm the author of Looot with Laurent Escoffier, that is not here, unfortunately. We make a lot of games with him, with pencil, paper, etc. And we take the best mechanics to make this center. It was the start of our game. Loot, it means that, okay, we are looting a country, but with 3 O because a lot of loot. So it means, we have different clans of Viking. Here are the longship, and we arriving here, so we can place. It's very easy to play, but a little bit brainy to master it. So it means that my turn, I play one Viking only, and I place it or near the longship or near another Viking before played. So it means that when I play my Viking here, I open to the other player the next territory. So I must look in your fjord what's happening. Okay, cool. And then this resource, I take it back on my fjord. Then this is a puzzle game. This is tactic, opportunistic. This is strategic. Wow. It means that here we are constructing our fjord with longship that we take one per turn. Okay, and it means that when I have the resource here around here, for example, I can do it this one, and it gives me 1 point more. It increases the value. This is the basic value of the buildings and the resource. That's increased my farm of all my fjord of 1. The same here. There are some wonders. Okay, and here a longship. If I place here this wood, this tree, I make this one and this one. So you see that with 12 turn, we can how can I say that? The fjord will be totally full, okay? But after, the idea is to take the good resource, the good longship, to have more points than the other one, and became the jarl, the king or the queen of the Vikings.
Cool.
Okay.
I saw somebody in the live chat wrote that he already played it, and it's a great game. So
you have already played on BGA?
Or no, he just wrote it's a cool game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he played it. He wrote I've played it in BGA. Okay. Okay, no questions from the chat. They just think it's a cool game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the author. It's complicated to me for saying if it's a cool game or not. But okay, it's issuing now for UK here. It's issuing in all the world in this weeks, and okay. I think it's going good. So
it's a feedback to you.
It's the same range than Acropolis. Okay, and it means that I think it's more easier to play, but perhaps a little bit brainy to master it.
I think Acropolis is a bit more abstract. Could you say that?
Exactly. Here you have resource, you have a story, the Vikings that are looting this territory. Normally in France we said this is England, but perhaps in England I must say this is France.
Good strategy.
I try to.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your only game today?
This session, it's my only game here, but I've made a lot of games before, but that are continue to sell, but not in the same publisher. I'm the author of Abyss, Kanagawa, different games like this. So
Cool.
you can find it in Asmodee booths or other publisher.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
And if you want to play tomorrow, I'm on the booth tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, we will only be here tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, but maybe we'll make it.
Sheds board games, the old two. You can make some turns, where you can see if the game is
Okay. Great, thank you. Okay, would you like to do an interview?
I'll introduce myself.
So, just however you like it.
Nice to meet you. Good, I know your name.
So, das macht nichts. Okay. Hi. So this is a space game?
Yes. So my name is Fabio Piano. This is Shackleton Base.
Yes.
It's based on the Artemis program, which is a real thing, which is about building a permanent base on the moon. So each player will be one of the space agencies like NASA, ESA, etc., which are working together to build this base. But it's a competitive game, so they want to score more points than the resource. It's a simple worker placement game. Every turn you draft one of the shuttles, which decide what astronauts will be available to use that turn, and then you play one people at a time, and you activate the various areas of the board. But what changes from game to game is that there are several corporations that are participating in the program. There are 7 different ones in the box. Every game you pick 3. Each corporation has a deck of cards, a special resource, and some goals you need to accomplish. And so, depending on what combination you're playing with, the games change. And because you only have 3 decks at a time you're working with, all the cards you will be playing with work well together because they are all designed to work together. So it's better than having like a deck of 200 cards that everything. And so depending on what game you will do some pick up and delivery or majorities or the collection at the end, contract fulfillment, so that changes very basically what changes how you play. So every game is very different and you need to work with all the corporations and you're trying to complete all their goals, but you only have 18 turns to do all the things, so you never manage to do everything once. You're trying to optimize as much as you can.
Okay, very interesting. I'll have a look at the live chat if anybody has got a question. So the chat asks, is it correct that you're the author of Abyss?
Yeah, that's
okay.
I think he is.
Okay, maybe it's an old chat message. Okay.
It's Autobahn together with Nestor. It's nice to put things together on Autobahn. So you see, Nestor is the Darwin's Journey, and currently he has Super Moonshine on Kickstarter. I did the San Korea, which came out this year, and Turning Circus the year before.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for the interview.
It's really now I'm confused. So what's your channel? What's your channel? Oh, I see.
Abgewürfelt. I can give you da hast du eine Visitenkarte?
Ja, aber die ist bei dir in der Tasche.
Wollen wir?
Bei mir in der Tasche.
So, okay. We'll show you the name of the channel because it's a very German name. It's hard to pronounce. It's abgewürfelt. So, the name is abgewürfelt.
Can we make what does it mean?
It's an artificial word. It's made up of dice and upside, and so it doesn't really exist.
Hang on.
He's coming from the toy industry, so he sees that when
Ich habe die extra griffbereit weggepackt, dann merkt man, wie gut es ist. So.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
So. Oh, Pac-Man. Oh. Ja, aber leider kein Interviewpartner da.
Das will ich direkt spielen.
Okay, aber gehen wir mal weiter, oder?
Ich möchte aber die große Variante haben. Jetzt nochmal hier in klein. Habt ihr das früher auch so geliebt wie ich? Pac-Man?
Also ich vergesse immer parallel auch bei YouTube in den Live-Chat zu gucken, nicht nur bei Twitch, aber da scheinen auch keine Nachrichten gekommen zu sein.
Auf dieses Spiel bin ich auch schon ein bisschen gespannt. Das ist der Nachfolger von Auf den Spuren von Darwin und soll noch ein bisschen komplexer sein. Und ich mag die Thematik mit Marie Curie. Also auf das Spiel bin ich wirklich auch ein bisschen gespannt. Ich zeige euch wenigstens mal das Material. Leider ist gerade niemand da, den wir fragen können. Aber ich freue mich auf das Spiel. Das nebendran sieht aber auch vom Artwork irgendwie cool aus. Das sagte mir jetzt bis jetzt noch nichts. Vielleicht euch zufällig. Sieht schon schön aus. Das Spiel übrigens habe ich meiner Nichte oder unserer Nichte geschenkt, die liebt das. Mit diesen, ich wüsste, Blankenblumse heißt es, glaube ich, auf Deutsch. Also es ist natürlich von der Größe her ein bisschen kleiner als hier, aber wie gesagt, meine Nichte ist jetzt 5, die liebt das. So als kleiner Tipp. Du weißt, dass ich jetzt alle Taschen trage, Schatz?
Ach so, das habe ich geschickt gemacht, gell?
Ja, ja.
Moment, dann nehme ich die hier.
Ah ja, genau, ich habe
so, okay.
Sorry.
So.
So, ich lasse dich wieder vor. Ich wollte nur eben mal Platz machen, weil wir so im Weg standen.
Okay, ich würde jetzt wieder tauschen.
Ja, dann lass uns kurz hier an den Tisch gehen.
So, okay.
Das muss ich gleich wieder anstecken.
Ja, genau. Dann nehme ich die Tasche und die Kamera.
Kannst du da anstecken, dass ich deine Hand frei habe? Darf ich schon kurz bei dir was gucken? Was ist das hier?
Das ist ein Magnet. Das ist ein Magnet, falls du nicht mit dem Clips das dran machen willst. Kannst du ignorieren. So, es geht gleich weiter, nur eine Sekunde.
Ich muss mich nur organisieren. So, ich habe mich organisiert. So. Ja, Pac-Man. Ja, schade. Das hätte mich jetzt interessiert, wie man das spielt. Ich würde gerne ein Spiel mir noch angucken, das heißt Isla. Ich habe die App installiert. Ich gucke mal ganz schnell, so viel Zeit muss sein, ob ich das jetzt gerade auf die Schnelle finde. Ja, das weiß ich auf jeden Fall. Ich habe nicht viele Sachen mir vorher herausgeguckt, aber das ja auf jeden Fall. So, Isla. Nee, ich muss jetzt im Verlag nachgucken. Dann machen wir es anders. Dann laufen wir jetzt weiter und gucken, ob wir zufällig dran vorbeikommen. Das fand ich noch interessant und das hier sieht auch voll niedlich aus. Aber hier. Quirky Quarks, die waren auch in Essen. Ja, ich wollte jetzt gerne zu denen, aber die sind jetzt gerade im Gespräch. Ich glaube, wir müssen uns ein bisschen beeilen. Aber wir sind hier gerade. Vielleicht hat gerade zufällig Lust. Hello. We are live on YouTube and Twitch right now.
Would it be okay to do an interview?
Yes, absolutely. Very happy to interview.
Okay.
So you can put it on.
Yeah,
or...
sure, absolutely. I will just. Oh, can I just hold it?
Yes,
That's
sure.
fine. I'll just hold it.
Yes. I'm really wondering, what is your game about? It seems like a fight or...
Yes, okay, so basically it's a real-time dungeon crawler. So you play a group of adventurers, you are trying to complete various missions, and for example in this mission, a group of bandits have stolen your stuff, and you're trying to fight them to steal it back, basically to get it back off them. So it's like other dungeon crawlers, but the way it works happens in 3 phases. You have a planning phase, you have as much time as you like, working what you're going to do in your real-time phase. Then 5 minutes of free-time play follows, where you're going to use your deck, which you're discarding, playing, using cards in real time, in order to activate skills that will do different things like damage or move you around, or different special abilities. And then after that 5 minutes is over, the enemies are going to act, and they're going to get to do their thing to attack your team. And you're trying to survive against waves after wave of infinitely spawning enemies to try and complete your objectives. So it's a kind of real-time Gloomhaven, basically, that's the idea.
Okay, all right. So I see it's a Kickstarter or something else?
Yes, well, it's going to be on Kickstarter, but it's going to be a little while yet. So we believe in spending a long time developing the gameplay as much as possible. So we've actually been working on this a couple of years, and we're still kind of perfecting it, trying to make that game as much of to put players in much of a kind of a flow state as possible when they're playing. Because it's a very intense experience compared to many other dungeon crawlers, because it's like a heavy real-time game. So that will be coming to Kickstarter hopefully sometime next year.
Okay, all right. So if you like some like Gloomhaven, you have to stay tuned about it. I think.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, I have a look if somebody has a question. Twitch, there's no question, and YouTube, no question. Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. So, dann tust du das wieder. So, mal gucken, wo sind die jetzt? Jetzt kann es sein, dass die frei sind. Hello. We are live on Twitch and YouTube now. Is it okay to do a little interview?
Absolutely.
Yes.
This
great.
is the microphone. You could hold it or fix it with the shirt, whatever you like.
How does that do? Does that work?
Yes,
Right.
thank you. I like your acrylic figures and this design of the game. So I'm interested, what is this game about?
This is Pandora Celeste. This is a love letter to sci-fi monster movies. It's a very gleeful love letter to sci-fi monster movies, but it's played out on a 3-dimensional box board because the box folds out to turn into the game board, and you then take the cards out, put them in the corners, and having done that, you lay out the game, and then you're playing out the game, and you've got a 3-dimensional vent system that you can move around above the ship, because every single movie like this has a scene in the vents, doesn't it? You know, and we just wanted something that gave you that sense of, you know, it's the classic, oh my god, it's in the aircon. And so we worked really, really hard to essentially give you that sense of 3-dimensionality. You've got 4 classic sci-fi crew members. You've got your kick-ass heroine, you've got your android who no one trusts, you've got your techno geek who's really good with tools, and you've got the captain who can basically get his crew to do a little bit of everything. And they come with the base game. The base game's about €50, something like that. And everything that those 4 crew and 3 big nasties, and then
the deluxe game for about €90. You lift that off and you get a whole nother half of the ship with cargo bays and everything else. And then we also have an expansion, which is the Shapeshifter, which is essentially trying to take over the crew. This would be about €12, €15, but we are giving it away absolutely free to anybody who backs us in the first 48 hours. We are on GameFound. Look up Pandora Celeste GameFound. We are launching in July, and we are on Hall 2381 throughout the whole of this convention.
How many players do I need for this game?
1 to 6, and it plays just as well with 1 as it does with 6.
Okay, that's great. I'm really interested. I like the artwork and I like this 3D design.
The artwork especially, you know, every time my artist gave me a piece of art, or my artists gave me a piece of art, I would send it back saying, it's good, it looks really, really nice, but make it look more manic. Make it look more mischievous. I want a wicked gleam in its eye, you know, because that's the whole vibe of this game. You know, we're having fun with the genre, you know, and we're having mischievous fun with the genre. I want people playing this game to just be a laugh of recognition every time you recognise something that comes out of one of these movies. So if you're a sci-fi fan, come and give us a try. You'll absolutely love it.
I like sci-fi games. So somebody in chat wrote, it looks like a crossing between Fitzek's Killer Cruise and the Nemesis.
Nemesis. Yeah, we are much lighter than Nemesis. We play faster. We set up faster. We give players a bit more player agency. Nemesis works really hard to kill you. We work really hard to make you feel like the hero or the villain of the movie, basically.
Well, I think you don't have to be afraid of spiders, so I think it's looking like a
yes,
spider.
there are a lot of bugs running around on this ship. Yeah. I have to warn you of that now.
Okay, so, yeah, okay. Somebody says this is a genius solution for the compliments.
We worked really hard on this, and originally what we had was we had a platform, but people kept on knocking the legs and it kept on falling over and falling off, you know. And then one day I was opening a Kickstarter and getting the minis out of the insert, the plastic insert, and the minis came in. And I thought, hang on a minute, you can make those in clear plastic. And so this is actually going to be heat moldable plastic in the mass-produced manufactured copy. And you literally can just open the box, take out the cards, play the game. It works really well.
Yeah, great. I'm really looking forward to it.
Good. Thank you very much.
It's a Kickstarter on GameFound, you said?
On GameFound. We are launching on GameFound in July.
Okay, July. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I have a microphone back?
Of course.
Thank you. I always forget it. Bye. So, dann würde ich gerne noch zu Quirky Quarks gehen. Hi. We are live on Twitch and YouTube right now. Is it okay to ask you some questions about Quirky Quarks? That's great. Thank you very much. You can hold it or put it on, what you like.
All right.
Okay. I think it was in Essen last year. I saw this game, and I am really interested. What is the actual standing? Also state. Sorry, my
English. Of the game?
State of the game. And for our audience who doesn't know the game, what is this game about?
Okay, so our game Quirky Quarks is now, it's been published. We are selling it here at UK Games Expo. We're selling it on our website as well, www.quirkyquarks.com. Our game is about particle physics. So the world of particle physics in a pretty short game. So during the game, you play as a physicist who's trying to compete with some other physicists to try to amass the coolest set of particles. During the game, you will visit different particle accelerators. These are real places in the world that do research on particle physics. Right? So they take really, really tiny particles and they smash them together at like hundreds of thousands of kilometers, like a second. So, and they try to see what happens, and this is how they discover new particles. Interestingly, gluonium, otherwise known as the glue ball, this was discovered last month. And so like we included it in our game, which we made last year because it was a hypothetical particle which they thought they were going to discover sometime soon. So this is about some of the things that are being discovered these days.
Wow.
So once you visit a particle accelerator, you collect all the cards at it. There's two kinds of cards in the game. One is the elementary particle. Those are these 8 here. These are the tiniest things in the universe. And the other kind of card in our game is the quest. These are things that you can construct out of the elementary particles. And so at the end of every round, you're going to complete quests. Here's an example. Here's a neutron, which wants an up quark, a down quark, another down quark, and a gluon. You can see here, U, D, D, G. And once you have all these cards, you discard these 4 of them, and then you can play the neutron, which is worth 14 points. Plus, later on, it can be part of an atom.
I like games with a scientific background like this game. So, but I'm not a scientist. Can I play this game, or
absolutely.
is it too heavy for me?
I mean, the majority of people who've played this game are not scientists. Lots of non-scientists have played the game against me and have beaten me in the game. By the end of the game, you're going to know a little bit about science. You're going to know what a neutron is made of. You're going to know what a proton's going to be made of. You're going to know a little bit about antimatter. You're going to know a little bit about some of the other particles in the universe. Plus, every single card, there's 120 cards in the game, has a fun fact at the bottom, a unique fun fact. So you'll learn just a little bit more about physics.
How long did it take to develop this game because of this whole background?
It took a few months.
Few months? For a few years?
It took maybe 5 or 6 months. Yeah, we made it on a pretty quick timeline. We did consult with multiple physicists. We had 5 physicists run through every single fact on every single card, just to make sure that they were all scientifically accurate. So, yeah, we tried our best to make it as accurate as possible, and as stated, relevant to current discoveries that are being made.
How many players do I need for this game?
2 to 4 players.
Good. I have a look because maybe some questions on Twitch or YouTube, but not on Twitch and none of YouTube. Okay.
No? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And what was your name?
Our name is Abgewürfelt. I give you our card.
Should we show it on the
absolutely.
It's a German name.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very complicated for...
Are you guys from Germany?
Yes.
Okay. We were in Spiele in October. Okay. Awesome. I'll look it up and...
Thank you. Can I have my microphone back?
Oh, absolutely. Would you like any stickers or bookmarks?
Yes, please. Thanks.
Move around, expand your following.
So cool. Thank you. Bye. Oh, da muss ich auf jeden Fall auch noch fragen, Adder Stream über Adder Loveless. Ja, Moment, ich muss aber wieder eine richtige Ansicht. So, okay. Hello. Excuse me. We are live on Twitch and YouTube right now.
Oh, okay.
Is it okay to speak about your new game?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, can I give you my microphone? You can take it or put it on. I'm a big fan of Ada Lovelace, and I'm really interested in your new game, Ada Stream.
Okay, so yeah, as you know, themed around Ada Lovelace, set in the Victorian era. It's a heavy Euro game. It's a new advanced line title. Over the course of the game, players are going to take two types of turn. They're either going to take a workshop turn, where they're going to collect dice from the workshop. What happens is you take a die, push it round the rondel, that then pushes out a die of an equal or lower value, and that is the dice that you're going to collect. That triggers a bonus on the rondel, and then you take it over into your player board over here. What happens then is you use the die by placing it into your player board to take the matching coloured action. There's 4 action areas on the game. In the game there's the travel area where you're going to be visiting all the universities in the UK, the institutions area where you're delivering lectures, the meetings area where you're going to the sort of social clubs of the era to meet new people, and working with Ada herself within her study. All of that is working towards building sections of the prototype of Babbage's analytical engine, and that is represented by the player board itself. At the end of the game, what happens is that the player board outputs equations that gives you your victory points. So in this instance you have 4 plus 6 times 3, that gives you 30 victory points for that particular line. Each line, however, is limited by the Steam value, so in this case the Steam value sits at 25, so that line in itself is just 25 victory points. What you can also get is you can get these punch card program tiles. They slot into your player board, and if the dice in that particular line match the requirements of the program, then that's going to be worth victory points as well. Over the course of the game, players are placing the dice out on the board when they're taking the various actions, and the placement of the discs themselves, as well as freeing up spaces to build all your gears, are going to be worth victory points out on the board. Lots of different strategies in the game, lots of ways to specialise your strategy. You're going to have 8 partner cards in your supply at any one time. When you get a new partner card, you have to get rid of one, so you're always managing that supply of 8 cards. Each of them are going to give you a set of actions that take place within the board. Those partner cards are powered by the lower value dice numbers, so the higher value dice are worth more victory points on your board, but the lower value ones are going to get you the extra actions given to you by the partner cards. Each of the action areas has a research track. As you increase your level of research in that particular area, the action that you take in that area improves just for you. So there's various strategies you can tie off, and every action has kind of got a degree of balance to it. There's always a decision over how you want to do something as well as what you're actually going to do as well. So that's what sits it in that higher bracket.
When can I back the game on Kickstarter?
Kickstarter, I believe, is June the 10th, but within the next couple of weeks, so in the first half of June, and then it'll be an Essen release, so very quick turnaround.
Okay. And I like this materials. Is this Kickstarter exclusive, or would there be a retail version after the Kickstarter next year?
Don't have a specific answer to that myself. I think the books are standard, and they have all 6-side screen printed books on them, which is quite unique. The gears will certainly be the same in every copy. I think the deluxe version will have metal coins, custom resources for the brass and the coal. I'm not sure what's doing, but there is a mini expansion that might be a Kickstarter exclusive. Being part of the development team, I know the insides of the game rather than the production side of things, but you'll find out in a couple of weeks when the Kickstarter goes live as to what the options are and what's included where.
Oh, thank you very much.
No problem.
There are no questions from the chat. Chat, ihr müsst auch mal Fragen stellen. So, thank you very much.
No problem.
Bye. Auf das Spiel bin ich richtig gespannt auch schon. So, schaffen wir jetzt noch ganz kurz die Lichtgeschwindigkeitsarena. Dann würde ich mal fragen, hello.
Hi.
We are live on Twitch and YouTube right now.
Hello everybody.
And I think the name Lightspeed Arena sounds really interesting. So can you explain us something about the game?
Yes, of course. Hi everybody. So, shall I clip it?
Yeah,
or now I can hold it.
Yeah.
So it's an aiming game, super fast-paced game in which you're literally aiming with the tile. So if I want to hit the spaceship, I have to orient the laser beam in a way that it intersects the illustration of the spaceship, not even the tile. I really need to hit this one. So it's a tactical game in real time. For each spaceship you have 10 seconds to place it simultaneously with the other players wherever you like on the table. So the first part of the game is very much crossing hands and trying to outsmart the opponent with your placement. And then when you're done you have a battle and you want to see how it went. And here is where the app comes into play, because you just need to take a picture of what's on the table, like it's a normal picture, and then the app resolve, count the points, and comments the battle for you. So you don't need to, you can focus on what's important, and what's important, destroying enemies, right? So you really want to enjoy the gameplay, which is fully analog, but then the app comes into play and helps you with the boring part, which is maybe measuring. This makes it also very nice for kids, but also for competitive players, because this is a game where you can get really good. It's an aiming game, right? So it's like a tabletop shooter where you're trying to outsmart the opponents, and if you play more games, you will get better.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I see it's coming soon on Kickstarter.
It's live now, actually.
It's live now.
It's live now, yeah. This is the backers that we have. So we are pushing when someone back, we increase the number with this counter that we 3D printed ourselves.
Wow, it looks
awesome. 7 days, 8 or 7 days to go. Yeah.
Okay. Ah, great.
And if at some point you want to demo the game, we have 2 tables. It's 5 minutes, so you can really play it and just go to the next So it's different.
And what is the price for the game?
So on Kickstarter right now it costs €25. So it's like normal. Like the price of the game is the one of a normal board game. So it doesn't cost more because there is the
Okay.
You can play 2 to 4. With the 2 expansions, you can play 2 to 5, 2 to 6. And Nestor Mangone, the authors of Darwin's Journey, a lot of like other famous games, is doing the solo mode for the game. So you will be able to play 1 to 6.
Ah, great. Yes. And how long do I have to wait after the Kickstarter campaign?
So it will be available. So we wrote February 2025. We hope to be faster than that. So the idea is to, like, in Essen, the Spiele will be tough, but we hope to be faster than February 2025. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so there are no other questions in the chat, so I will look to YouTube. So, no questions. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much and have a good show.
Ja, good luck. Bye. So, Schatz? So, genau. So, ich hoffe tatsächlich, dass ich jetzt, weil es ein bisschen Lag hat, dass du dieses Spiel meinst. Ansonsten kann ich aber gerne nochmal zurückgehen und beim Spiel über Ada Lovelace mal fragen. Ich meine, ich bin mir jetzt aber gerade tatsächlich unsicher, dass die zumindest gesagt, wann es erscheinen wird, aber was es kostet, habe ich nicht gefragt. Also falls du das Ada Stream meintest jetzt. Genau, das ist ein bisschen blöd mit dem Lag immer, aber das kann ich nicht.
Eigentlich ist bei Twitch ja der Lag nicht so groß wie bei YouTube. Das wundert mich.
Ah ja, genau. Aber sie hat geschrieben, passt. Ja, es kann auch sein, manchmal ist es so, man ist im Gespräch und dann sehe ich eine Nachricht und denke, oh, hoffentlich kam die jetzt erst, vielleicht habe ich die übersehen und so. Also deswegen gerne nochmal, genau. So, aber man sieht irgendwie, es wird schon so ein bisschen...
Wir müssen uns beeilen.
Ja, ja. Dann noch ganz schnell gucken, wo wir noch was Interessantes finden. Oh, oh, auch die Schilder werden schon abgerissen. Lass uns mal schnell hier außen rumspringen. Wobei dieses World, oh, das sieht interessant aus. Da stehen jetzt aber Leute, aber das sieht spannend aus. Ich glaube, das ist der Verlag von Hegemonie, oder? Ja, natürlich müssen wir da hin. Man sieht es sofort vom Layout her.
Ja, die Frage ist, weil wir können ja jetzt nicht schnell ein Mikro anheften.
Nee, wir müssen kurz warten.
Ja, aber da manche schon Anstalten machen abzubauen, würde ich auch jetzt direkt warten und nicht erst später wiederkommen.
Das ist es, wenn wir jetzt gehen und wieder zurückkommen, sind die weg. Und Das ist jetzt für mich mal interessant. Ich hoffe, das ist für euch auch okay.
Hello, we are live on Twitch and YouTube. Would it be okay to do a live interview?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Great convention.
Great.
Over the weekend, we want to quiz. Will you be doing full demos of this or just
Demo. Yes.
Demo about World Order. I don't know if you want, Hegemony. Hegemony was our first game. World Order is our upcoming game. It started the Notify on Kickstarter yesterday, and the Kickstarter campaign is going to be launched till the end of the year. And here at World Order, what we have is that we are set in the year 2010, where the United States of America started to lose power, while European Union, China and Russia started to gain power, demanding a slice of the pie. At this point, you need to find the way, you as a player and as a superpower, to influence the board. You can influence the board through 3 different ways. You can choose diplomatic, you can choose economic, or on the other hand, you can be a little more aggressive and choose military. By default, each country has an advantage on, for example, Europe diplomatic or China on the economic. But since it is a deck building game as well, you can change it throughout the game. You might want to enrich more as a Europe your economic way and buy more economic cards. And one thing about the game also is that you have to be very careful about what the other players do and keep an eye on them, because at this round you might lose points on the threat that the other persons have. Also, you can score at round 4 and round 7. I don't know if you have any question about the game. Want anything to ask us about?
This sounds really interesting. I'm a big fan of Hegemony, and and I like this political games with some real topics, and so I'm really interested. I'm really looking forward for it.
This is also super realistic. For example, the study, it's not about today. As I say, the set is the decade starting on 2010. That means we can see that even on the bases, the military bases that you can build on a region, or even on the influence that each of the 7 regions has, depending on the countries. You can see this with a lot of ways. For example, the first countries that are alliance to your superpower. So it is the realistic approach that Hegemony has, World Order also has it. There is a lot of research beside it.
How many players do I need to play this game?
2 to 4. On the 2 or 3 players, also the auto influence cards copy, in order to manage the missing country board. We are also considering, but not at the moment, but we are considering a solo mode. But at the moment we're focusing on the main, on 2 to 4 players board, because as we told, we are on we're about to launch the Kickstarter in some months, so we need to fine-tune everything about them and then see what's going on with the solo playing.
All right. And when will the game be ready?
The game is the most part of the game is ready. The game is considered ready. What we are doing now is a lot of playtests and examining a lot of extreme scenarios to see how we can fine-tune it and how we can make everything clear. We are also changed a few details on the design, but yes, the game is almost ready. That's why we started with the Notify Me.
I'm sorry, I meant how long do I have to wait until after the Kickstarter campaign?
To get it, this one I cannot answer for now, but I can answer for now, is that we started yesterday, the Notify Me, and during the fall we will launch the Kickstarter campaign.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. I look if there are any questions.
Do you know if the game will be in German? We don't know that yet. We are considering a lot of localized options, but it's too early now to say.
Okay, I hope so. Genau. Will you be in Essen this year?
Yes, we will be in Essen, and we will also have a word order with us, so we will be more than glad to show it to the people that will visit Essen and to play test them.
Great. Great. Okay. So, these are the questions on Twitch, so now I have to look on YouTube. So, no other questions. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time very much. Have a great evening and enjoy your Yeti.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Ja, natürlich. So, hello. You are the author of the game?
Yes.
Yes. So how long did you take to develop this game?
This game, it's hard to say because we tried to finish Hegemony and also War Order, but let's say roughly 1 year and a half. But it's not finished yet, so it's hard to answer. It's like the 90%, but in the board game industry, everyone knows that the 10% takes the 90% of the time. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. I'm a really big fan of Hegemony.
Thank you very much. Where are you from?
From Germany.
From Germany,
yeah,
okay.
And we are hoping that the game will be in German as Hegemony is. So
yes, at Essen we will have the final version, and something important to mention to your channel and to your audience. It will be a few weeks before the official launch of our Kickstarter, so we're super excited to meet you again in Essen and play together.
What brings you the idea of making such political games?
It's an excellent question. The idea came during my actually during my studies. I studied international politics, and then I did a master's in international political economy, and then MBA with oil and gas. As you can understand, I'm a person that I love politics and I love international relations, history, military, all those things. And during my master's, I came up with the idea because I realized that there was not a game to explain all those things. Actually, with my classmates, during our studies, we're trying to find a game to play and to discuss, and there wasn't a game. So I said to myself and to my friends, I will design a game like this. Why? Because, of course, to play with my classmates and so on, but the vision is not just that. I came up with the question, why not create a game to not only have fun, but also to learn something about our world. Of course, it's a sensitive issue, but it's a matter that affects our life. I mean, let's talk about, for example, about hegemony, salaries, taxes, immigration, pension funds, all those things affect our life. So why not to simulate them, to test them, and of course to have fun. So that's why with a team of academics around the world and the game and us, the game designers, together we do our best to link those towards the game design and the academia in order to provide a game, as I already mentioned, not just a fun game, but also to learn something. So about War Order, that was my master thesis. The topic was if China will overthrow the United States as a global hegemony. And the idea of this game is to explain and to analyze of course, the modern political system, and also to give answers. For example, why United States has this foreign policy? Why Russia? Is Russia good or bad, or is the same for United States and so on? What are the motivations behind those superpowers or those efforts to expand their influence, and what are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? The same for all of the superpowers. So this is the idea for this game, and during the design of the game, we experienced very important events like the Russian invasion in Ukraine, the tension in Gaza with Palestine and Israel, tensions around the world. A few days ago we saw the China military exercise around Taiwan. All those things that might happen too far from us affect our lives. So, and we believe, and our vision says that people must know about all those things. Of course, in a fun way, because at the end we are a board game company.
Yeah, that's so important to learn, but to have fun during learning.
Of course.
So I have a look YouTube and Twitch right now. So a little second, please, because maybe there are some questions from our chat. So. One of our audience is a teacher, and she writes, "These games are so great. I use Hegemony for her politics lesson in her class, and it's fun, and it makes politics a little more comfortable, ein bisschen more lockerer, würde man sagen, more easy." Yeah.
This is great. Actually, statements like this for me and the rest of the team is what is a motivation to that's why we create Hegemony, and this is motivation to continue create games like this to as I mentioned, not only fun games but also an educational tool to explore and to discover our world. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the interview.
You are welcome.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. And of course, you can pass from our booth tomorrow, 402, to meet you to play War Order and so on.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
And good luck for the game.
Thank you.
Bye.
Während wir das Interview gemacht haben, sind hier ganz viele Leute verschwunden.
Ja, genau. Okay.
Offiziell sollte die Neuheiten so bis 2030.
Ja, 2043 haben wir jetzt. Ich gebe dir das wieder.
Okay.
So, okay. Oh, ich merke jetzt aber auch langsam, ich bin schon total dehydriert auch.
Ich sehe.
Aber das ist voll krass. Eben, ich wusste zwar, es wird aufgeräumt, aber ich sag mal, die sind sehr schnell mit dem Aufräumen. Eben war noch echt mehr. Aber ich muss ehrlich sagen, das war mir jetzt persönlich wichtig, da nochmal mit dem Auto zu sprechen.
Ja, super interessant.
Ja. Okay, ja cool, Ivy. Mit welcher Klasse, darf ich fragen, mit welcher Klasse du das einsetzt? Das finde ich schon eine coole Idee, Hegemony einzusetzen. Ja, ist krass. Irgendwie, ich habe das Gefühl, wir haben noch nicht mal die Hälfte geschafft irgendwie.
Ja, da hätten wir mehr Zeit gebraucht.
Ja, aber wir waren jetzt, klar, es hat ein paar Minuten gedauert und so, das weiß ich, aber es war jetzt, ich sag selbst wenn wir jetzt pünktlich, es fing ja dann auch erst an, da hätten wir vielleicht zwei Stände mehr gehabt, auch nicht viel mehr.
Gut, das ist auch nicht dafür gedacht, dass jeder Creator hier längere Interviews führt, sondern ganz viele, die gehen nur durch, informieren sich schnell, was gucken sie sich während der Show noch an und so. Deswegen ist die Zeit vielleicht so knapp bemessen.
Ach cool, Ivy hat bestimmt Hauptschüler. Ja, da müssen wir uns mal unterhalten. Vielleicht kann ich das auch mal bei mir machen. Das klingt interessant. Aber ich möchte jetzt gar nicht so viel über Schule reden. Aber wir bleiben mal, wir schreiben mal. Okay, ja, was machen wir jetzt? Irgendwie...
Gut, also es sieht sehr leer aus.
Nach Abrissparty und nach Rauschmiss an.
Falsch. So. Ja, die Frage ist, wir sind ja noch morgen hier. Macht es Sinn, wenn wir morgen von der eröffneten Messe streamen? Heute ist ja nicht offen, heute war ja nur so Pressetag quasi. Wir könnten morgen drüber laufen, auf den Flohmarkt gehen. Ansonsten, die Spiele sieht man morgen wahrscheinlich nicht so gut, wie man sie hier auf der Show sehen konnte. Also wäre das für jemand interessant, dass wir morgen nochmal einen Stream machen? Wenn nicht, laufen wir einfach für uns drüber. Könnt ihr ja mal in den Chat schreiben.
Ah ja, okay, das wäre schön. Okay.
Oh ja, dann können wir mal schauen, ob wir das morgen machen.
Ja, genau.
Gut, dann vielen Dank für alle, die so lange ausgeharrt haben und auch an die vorher da waren.
Weil es ist ja schon, in Deutschland ist ja noch eine Stunde später, ist ja schon fast 10 Uhr jetzt.
Ja, stimmt.
Das ist ja auch krass, ja.
Ja, cool. Dann bis vielleicht morgen. Also wir würden dann eher im Laufe des Vormittags online gehen, wenn wir es schaffen. Nachmittags fahren wir schon mit dem Zug weiter nach London. Deswegen vielleicht schaffen wir das morgen Vormittag.
Ja, das wäre cool.
Okay, dann bis dann. Ciao.
Tschüss. Genau, da muss ich wahrscheinlich Stop einfach.